So now we have it, the second lockdowns. I mean, dear governments, do you ever think, how shall I get to my yoga classes and find my inner self? I mean, all those lockdowns, that's the simple answer on a complicated question. Be honest, just closing down all doors. By the way, not all doors, but almost all the doors. For instance, why do they close down open air gatherings? Why? Because everyone knows in the open air the virus doesn't have any chance. Or restaurants, they have practiced all the hygiene concepts and the distance concept. It worked. So why did they close down everything? Where is the reason? I think, to be honest, I think it's a little bit of a control mechanism. I think an age starts where governments increase their control over the people. Be honest. Sometimes you also had discussions like that. And me too. Sometimes I fall into the trap about talking about the things, whether they make sense or don't make sense. The lockdown or all the things governments did, ruled because of that pandemic. But what I see with that is, why do we spend so much energy in a thing that we can't change? For instance, this November, it's lockdown time, and for a lot of countries, and we would have time to calm down a little bit. Because be honest, you spend a lot of time going to yoga classes, going to meditation classes, booking seminars to find your inner self. You know what? Now, for at least 4 weeks, you have plenty of time to find your inner self. But instead, what do? You start to grow an inner anger and complain about the measurements. And it doesn't change. 4 weeks, a huge pile of anger will grow within you. And you will find friends who multiply that pile of anger. Because when you talk so much about the things that you think that are not clever from the governments, you start to talk about some people with some people about it. And some people will say, no, don't talk about it, it's only 4 weeks. And you realize on a subconscious level, they don't understand you. They don't think enough. And you will find other friends, they are completely aligned with you. They have the same anger within them. And so during the next lockdown, during this lockdown, I'm sure you will talk more with those people. And then you share links where people say that it doesn't make any sense, where scientists and where people in the public say that the lockdown is the worst of ideas. But you know what? You missed a valuable time. This time where you don't have the chance to go out very often. You don't have the chance to meet friends. You don't have the chance to go to your yoga classes. You don't have the chance to go to theaters or restaurants or whatever. You have a lot of time for yourself at home. My suggestion is, use it. When you had your last meeting, when you turn off the laptop, when you wrote your last business email, switch off every item. And most importantly, switch off the thoughts whether the lockdown is a clever idea or not. Instead, use it as a reminder to calm down. Just a couple of minutes every day, 5, 10 minutes. Do whatever brings you down, whether it is meditating, or a woman wrote me praying, or artists might practice their instruments, artists might draw something. Do some things that draw your whole attention and don't leave any more energy and any more resources to think of something else. That is what meditating is all about. Meditating is not just breathing in and out. For some it is, but for some it is just practicing the piano for half an hour, for an hour. Or doing sports. For me, for instance, it's doing sports. Just going out and running a little bit. Don't think of anything, but just run. And this time, we don't know when we have it again, you know. We live in a hectic life and everyone complains about how hectic it is, and I don't find to my inner self, and I don't find to meditate on a regular basis. Yeah, now you find it, do it. And there will be one outcome, and that outcome is your body language will become more stable. Because even if you're a very hectic person, if you find a time in your daily routine where you calm down, where you relax, where you get more stable, you can transform that body language in your everyday life. Because the more you get used to that meditating state of mind, the more you get used to it, the easier it is to transform it to a business situation, to a situation where you seem to get nervous. You just come back to that feeling that you practiced so much during that lockdown. Now, please, what do you think about that? Is it a good idea to use that time? And when you use it, do you do any form of meditation, or do you something else that brings you down a little bit, that makes you more calm? And if not, would you like to do it? Write it in the comments, please, and share it with whomever might profit from that video.